He accidentally dropped his backpack in the river. At 60 years old, he was desperate. He jumped into the cold water without thinking. The backpack went down the river. Inside was the thing he had saved with his life. He swam desperately to the backpack and held it in his arms, and so he floated down the river. He didn't save it until he grabbed a tree branch. At 60 years old, he couldn't take it anymore. But what made him choose to walk 800 kilometers? And what was in his backpack that was so precious to him? It all started when he got a call from France.
I'm sorry to inform you that your son has been killed, sir.
What?
On the train to France, Tom seemed to see his dear son. He'd given up his doctorate to travel the world. He thought his father should go with him, but Tom said there are few people like you, and leave it all behind. I chose to live my life the way it is now, even if it means nothing to you. But the son said Tom didn't choose life. He's just living. Most parents never understand their children, and Tom was one of them. He didn't understand the significance of his son's words. Getting off the train, only Tom's suit looked different. Most people were dressed for traveling. Contacted his captain to get him back to the team, and it took a lot of courage to walk into the morgue. Their eyes were a little shifty. He couldn't quite take it all in. Until he saw his son lying there, Tom's heart sank instantly. At the captain's narration, Tom learned, this is the road to Santiago, and a pilgrimage, the starting point of the trek. Every person who leaves from here will have a pilgrimage passport to complete the 800-kilometer journey. This passport will be stamped along the way. The captain told him they could provide sparks to make it easier for him to bring his son home, and Tom didn't respond. He went outside to try and calm himself. At night, he went through his son's belongings and looked at the pictures he had left behind. Tom couldn't hold back the tears. He knocked on the captain's door. He couldn't wait for his son to be cremated, and that's how Daniel became a little box, and Tom inherited his son's equipment, decided to take it with him to finish the road not yet traveled, and to get to know the son he never understood. Before leaving town, the captain found him and gave him a stone. He felt Tom's grief over the loss of his son. He'd lost a child, too. The captain helped him on his way, and that's when Tom left.
Tom, this is the way.
Following the sign at the start, Tom was officially on his pilgrimage. The scenery along the way was breathtaking, until Tom stopped at a sign. There was a cross by the side of the road, and in that moment, he saw his son. This is where he stopped. They took out his son's ashes, and they scattered him here. He wanted to finish his journey with his son in this way. He patted the rock as if he were caressing his son, looking at the mountains in the distance, and it was a comfort to Tom's heart. He stayed here until nightfall. Tom didn't get up and leave.